In the entire history of the Stick War universe, we have fought nations, we have fought zombies, and we have fought giants. But in Stick War Saga, we fought something that shouldn't exist. It is a creature so massive that the game camera can't even show us its full body, only its lower half. It stands over 80 meters tall. It creates earthquakes with every single step, and unlike every other enemy we have faced, it doesn't seem interested in war. It seems interested in erasure. We call him Lunarclops. Most players look at it and see a boss fight, a big monster to kill at the end of stage 35. But if you look closer at the golden bracers, the cooling magma on its feet, and the terrifying object strapped to its back, you realize this isn't just a monster. What if I told you that Lunarclops isn't an enemy of the Order Empire? What if I told you it isn't an ally of Chaos either? My theory is that Lunarclops is a biological machine, a cosmic reset button created by the god of Inamorta himself, V, to wipe the slate clean when his creations get out of control. Today, we are going to decode the inscriptions, analyze the poem it drops, and prove that Lunarclops is the most dangerous thing to ever walk the surface of Inamorta. Welcome to the Lunarclops theory. To understand what this thing is, we first have to look at where we find it. We encounter Lunarclops in stage 35 of the Order campaign, but we aren't the first ones to fight it. The lore tells us that long before Order's arrival, the Borderland Flame Feeders, led by the former Swordrat General Ratnar, made it their mission to protect Inamorta from this monster. Think about that. Ratnar isn't a hero. He's a warlord who left the Order, yet his entire faction exists to stop Lunarclops. Why? Because Ratnar knows that Lunarclops isn't interested in politics or territory. When Lunarclops spawns, something terrifying happens. The game code executes a command that removes all other enemy units from play, including the enemy statue. It doesn't conquer, it erases. It relocates the player's units back to the castle. It effectively resets the board. Unlike every other unit in the game, Lunarclops ignores all units. It walks periodically, stopping only to cast abilities or destroy walls, moving inevitably toward your statue. This behavior is robotic. It's programmed, and look at its design. It has a pale globe for a head, rimmed by a gold frame. It doesn't have a face. It has a geometric shape. It wears golden bracers on its wrists and ankles, marked by carved inscriptions. This doesn't look like the organic evolution of a giant or a crawler. This looks manufactured. It looks divine. But the smoking gun, the detail that blows this entire mystery wide open, is what it carries on its back. On its back, Lunarclops carries a crescent moon-shaped tablet, and upon that tablet, there is an inscription written by V. For those new to the lore, V isn't just a letter. V is the god of the Stick War universe. He is the original entity who created Inamorta, the stars, and the elementals. He is the one who founded the Order Empire. So why is this destructive titan carrying a tablet signed by God? The wiki speculates that Lunarclops has some form of relation to V. I'm going to step further. I believe that Lunarclops is V's enforcer. We know that V created the elementals, earth, water, fire, and air. But we also know that V is capable of mistakes. He created fire from hate and spite, which led to the creation of the Chaos Empire. V lost control of his creation. So, if you are a god, and your creations start destroying the world you made, what do? You build a failsafe. You build a machine that can scrub the world clean so you can start over. Look at its abilities. It has a magnifying beam, literally a beam of blue fire from the heavens that sweeps the battlefield. It has a gravity well where it charges power and pulls in all non-giant enemy units. These aren't martial arts. These aren't sword swings or spear throws. These are cosmic forces. Gravity, light. It is weaponizing the physics of the universe itself. And note the specific interaction. The gravity well pulls in units, then releases a bright flash that stuns everyone. It's like a miniature black hole. This creature is harnessing the power of the stars, the very stars V created when he removed his 1,000 eyes and cast them into the darkness. Lunarclops is a celestial entity tethered to Inamorta to police it. The strongest evidence for this theory comes from the reward you get for killing it. When you defeat Lunarclops, you don't get a weapon, you don't get gold, you receive V's poem. This poem is the genesis story of Stick War, and if we read between the lines, it tells us exactly why Lunarclops exists. Let's break down the key stanzas. V lay wrapped in his cocoon, dreaming of what might be. He removed his 1,000th eye and cast them into the darkness, creating the stars and space. This confirms V's cosmic origin. But then, things go wrong. He created a third element, fire, from his own 2 hands. Punishment for anything disobeying his commands. V created fire as a punishment, but look what happened next. But his newest creation was spawned from hate and spite. Fire took over land and sea and set the world ablaze. The poem details how the elementals, specifically fire, spiraled out of control. They wanted to be gods like V. They created the Chaos Empire. And here is the crucial line. V had a choice, destroy it all or make himself alive. V chose to make himself alive and found the Order Empire, but he considered destroying it all. Lunarclops is the physical manifestation of that option. It is the destroy it all option. Lunarclops carries this poem on its back, on that crescent tablet, as a reminder of the history of failure. It is a walking monument to the sins of the elementals. It appears when the world is in turmoil. In Stick War Saga, the Marukai is hunting map fragments, the elementals are wearing, and chaos is rising. The balance is broken. So Lunarclops wakes up. There is one physical detail that ties this all together. The Stick War Wiki notes that its feet appears to be encrusted with cooling magma. Why cooling magma? If you recall, the poem says fire set the world ablaze. Magma is the blood of the earth, superheated. Cooling magma implies the end of the fire. It implies the aftermath of destruction. Lunarclops walks on the cooled remains of a burning world. Furthermore, look at its name, Lunarclops, moon. In the poem, V created earth and water first, then fire, then air. The moon controls the tides, water. It orbits the earth. It is a celestial body that oversees the balance of the planet. Lunarclops is the guardian of that balance. It is interesting to note that in the game, weaker Spiriton has almost no effect on Lunarclops, dealing only 5% damage. A basic human warrior is insignificant to it. It requires the combined might of an army or a hero to stop it. Even more interesting, there is a bug, or perhaps a feature, where if Lunarclops is near a minor wall, it stops moving and becomes silent. It pauses at the structures of civilization. So why did Ratnar try to stop it? Because Ratnar uses fire. He leads the Flame Feeders. He knows that if Lunarclops completes its journey to the statue, it triggers the end. It doesn't just destroy the base, the screen wipes, the stage ends. Ratnar, despite being a villain to the Order, is trying to save the world from being rebooted. He is fighting the antivirus software that has decided the entire hard drive is corrupted. So what is Lunarclops? It is not a giant. Giants are biological creatures from no man's land. It is not a demon. Demons come from the Chaos Empire. Lunarclops is a celestial construct. It is a golem made of starlight, gold, and gravity, bearing the written word of God on its spine. It was placed on Inamorta by V as a failsafe. A guarantee that if his children, Earth, Water, Fire, Air, and the Order ever threatened to destroy the planet completely, Lunarclops would rise, march to the center of civilization, and turn the lights out. It is the final judge of Inomorta. And the terrifying part? In Stick War Saga, we didn't destroy it. We just delayed it. The poem ends with V creating the Order Empire with a single magic flower. But flowers die, empires fall, and the moon is always watching. So what do you think? Is Lunarclops a mindless monster? Or is it V's divine judgment made manifest? And if V is the creator, what lies on the mysterious V-shaped continent to the west of Inomorta that was teased in the Stick War 3 intro? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the cosmic horror of Stick War, please crush that like button. It tells the algorithm that we need more lore videos. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next theory. A massive thank you to my channel members who keeps the lights on. And until next time, keep conquering.